Hey, welcome everyone. I think we got an exciting show for you here today. We're going to talk about software engineering intelligence exposed and in action. We'll do a quick intro with myself and Nori. So I'm Dan Lyons. I'm the COO at Linear B. Like I said, if you were here a little bit early, I'm in upstate New York in Rochester, New York. I'm joined by my co-founding partner in crime and CEO, Ori Karen. Ori, give you a second to say what's up to everybody.
What's up, everybody? I'm Ori. I'm the CEO of Linear B and Dan's partner, and with um, background in engineering, was VP engineering for a long time.
Yes, you were. We both were, and I hope that shows up today. Here's the agenda that we got for you today. Gonna try to keep it to 30 minutes. Maybe we go over a little bit. We'll try to keep it fast paced. We will go over what's up with SEI, maybe even more importantly, why do people care? How do you activate an SEI program and when should that happen? And we're going to look at some real life data in a demo here today with Linear B. Dive into the details, down to earth, profitable engineering, predictable software delivery, DevX, some Gen AI stuff. And that's what we got for you all. I
Sounds
think
great.
probably most people know SEI is software engineering intelligence. That's probably why you signed up here. I'll read this out loud. I know all of you can read, but solutions that provide software engineering leaders with data-driven visibility into the engineering team's use of time and resources, effectiveness, progress on deliverables. That's like a dictionary definition. But what I really want to get to is why is this so hot right now? It's really picking up and it's picking up steam. It's mission critical. Ori, I'll hit you with the first question because we're seeing like so many customers come on now and people implement this stuff. Why do you think it's so hot?
Yeah, I would say one thing on the previous slide, like the main difference between like SCI, which is a term pretty new to what we've seen before, is people, engineering leaders used to come with, I need metrics or I need a metrics program.
Yeah,
And SEI is far more complete and holistic. It kind of defines a framework and a program. That's the first thing I wanted to say. And why I think there's two main drivers that are driving this space to be very hot. You see like a growth from 5% in 2024 to 50% in 2027. This is one of the fastest like compound annual growth rate of spaces that exists out there. Two drivers, the economy is number one, and the need of efficiency everywhere.
yeah,
And the second driver is Gen AI, because there's a promise in the air of, you be much more efficient, etc. And it's very much focused on code creation right now. So all of a sudden, all eyes are being turned to, oh, let's look at the rest of the SDLC. What's happening there? That's what the problems and the solution that SEI has to offer.
yeah. A lot of code coming into the pipeline. A lot of companies looking for efficiency right now. Definitely two big drivers. You mentioned in the beginning, oh, we have a little thing on the right hand side here pop up as well. Do you want to say anything about this or move on?
I love this analogy because
Yeah.
I think if it's 50% in 2027, it means that every second software company will use something like that, which is basically building a data plane around your object, around your process in software
Yeah.
engineering. And you can't find a VP of sales that you come and say, hey, can you imagine how you operate without a CRM? That's how people, engineering leaders, should think about it. SEI will do the same for the engineering space.
Yeah, love the analogy. You said in the beginning, I mean, really, it's both of us, but you mentioned, hey, I come from an engineering background. You were a VP of engineering. You were I think many years ago, a hardcore developer. You did all the roles. You usually say engineering leaders have a dual mandate, and of course that relates to SEI. But what does this really mean?
Yeah, what it really means is like um, we have this thing in, operational efficiency. It always been there for engineering leaders. They always had to, ever since the Agile Manifesto and probably even before, maintain, make sure everything is flowing in the process, and where you have things to fix, you got to fix them. And then DevOps and other technologies and other things that enable you to maintain operational efficiency. But the thing that happened in the last 4 or 5 years, CEOs, boards are coming to the same leaders and they say, fine, great. We also want you to speak our language. And can you show how are you aligning with the business and the business goals, and if the financial aspect of the engineering. That's why we're saying dual mandate, like it's almost like two different languages, two different roles.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, all of the engineering leaders that I've been working with that come into Linear B, they're starting in SEI Pro, and I can see it in the chat. People are saying, I agree with this. I think people understand, but I also think it's like amazing for our industry to have that seat at the table as a VP, as a CTO, even like managers, directors. Like, this is awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. We have a few slides here now that are kind of what you may be experiencing, what could be going on in your organization, and then how to get SEI going. So let's start here, Ori, what maybe our viewers are experiencing today.
Yeah, that's like, I think, the before and the after. um, Massive change. There's a massive change happening in technology. We spoke about some of the drivers there. It's there. We gotta embrace it somehow. But right now, it's kind of like we don't know what to do with it sometimes. Then there's disparate data across tools like your SCM, your CI/CD, your incident management system, your project management. A lot of tools and a lot of data exist in all of them, and nothing brings them together. And then when you have to, like you said, then you and I, we both have this background. Every time we had to, when we were engineering leaders, communicate to execs, other execs at around the table, it was very anecdotal. Like, oh yeah, we released this thing and it went great. But it's nothing repeatable, consistent. That's the experience sometimes today before you implement like a SEI program.
Yep.
If you A way we can take it is, we can't make the change go away. The change is there, but you can manage your change if you take control on the narrative. You kind of unify your data so you can build a data plane on your processes and start seeing where you have problems. And the best thing is that you can start forecasting outcomes when projects will be ready. And you and I know it's hard, even like with sales forecast. Forecast is a forecast. You want to be as accurate as possible. It's never 100%, but at least you can get close, or you can start, apply science to it, which is great.
Yeah. And it's like, have the conversation with data, talk about projects with data, talk about your staffing and hiring with data.
Exactly.
Think about, okay, when I come to a board meeting or I come to my weekly executive meeting, or maybe even you're like a program manager project, how is everything going? Looking at it with data, you have it here, unify with data, unifies everyone in the room. It's a better conversation. And we're gonna act some of that out. Did I skip? Okay.
Very good.
Okay. So we're here. So here's the thing. What we've seen with engineering leaders, VPs, and CTOs coming to us, starting an SEI program, starting to work with Linear B, usually there's an initiative that's happening also within their organization that we can attach the software engineering intelligence program to, that really kind of accelerates the whole thing with the right synergy. What are you seeing around there, Ori?
I think there's two interesting things here. I think engineering leaders are becoming like smarter buyers, which is great to see. And they're identifying when is the right time to activate an SEI program, and how can I attach to something big that's happening in my organization. So I don't know, we take digital transformation. Great. Let's say a company has, this is our initiative for the next year or two. That's the sign. And it's great to see that leaders are identifying it and saying, okay, great. My derivative, if I'm deriving what I need for my engineering organization, I need to activate this type of programs like SDI, so I can start, move towards that direction. So yeah, sometimes we still see the people who are coming with, yeah, I have pain, I need metrics, or I need a metrics program. And what we're saying is the ones that are elevating themselves towards this mindset of, it's not just about like the data I'm seeing. There's a company initiative, a company program, and I'm attaching my engineering initiative to it. You're on a path to success because the budgets will be there, the support
Yeah.
of the organization will be there. You're part of something big.
Yeah, you're following the momentum, right? You're going to get money to do this. It's going to be easier to execute. When you present the success of your SEI program, it makes sense to the CEO. Oh, you're in what we're doing with the business. Like it always goes great in that sense. Awesome. So
Yeah.
we've gotten to the portion that we actually get to look at some data and get down to earth. So we're going to go over now some of the key initiatives that you can roll out within SEI. The first one is profitable engineering, or give us an overview and then I'll take us into the app.
Yeah, that's where that's like the first one. This is profitable engineering. It's
Yeah.
about, if you look at it, just read it, manage engineering costs and focus on generating new value. Basically, move some allocation towards revenue generating activities. And the
Yep.
symptoms that I relate to the most is like the inability to prove ROI. Dan, did you experience it, by the way, when you were engineering manager? Like,
Inability to prove ROI, it's tough.
yeah, 10 years ago,
To
like.
prove it's all it was more like how good are you in verbal conversations and convincing as opposed to like anything with data. So yeah, it's really hard.
Yeah, and the impact once you are able to deploy it is amazing now, like with all the science. So you can make smarter business decisions. So this is a big, big talk.
Yeah.
And then I know you're great with the product. Then
Yeah,
can
let's
you
look
show
at
us
this.
how it looks in real life?
Yeah, let's talk about it. And I'll give a little context for everyone seeing this. So first of all, this is the Linear B product, right? This is what we're looking at. On the left-hand side, you have the modules that make up SEI. Right now, and I'll say what they are: your resources module, your metrics, your on-time project delivery with projects, your people, coaching, and of course, automations for improvement. And the way that we're going to do this between Ori and I, you can think of the data here as like a simulation of the linear B bit. This is linear B on linear B, the linear B business itself. Ori is our CEO, so you'll play the CEO.
Okay.
I will play the engineering leader, maybe or someone listening in on this call, and we'll see how this goes here. So the first one that we're going to talk about, Ori gave us the info with profitable engineering. Now, what it's really all about is, can you tell me what we're actually working on? Can you tell me where you have 1,000 developers in your organization, you have 100 developers in your organization. Where is that effort going to, and how does it align up with our strategy? Or maybe it doesn't align. So that's like the down to earth question. What you're looking at here is the investment profile view. And of course, you can see this from all different date ranges and that type of stuff. We have 6 months selected here. We have our Linear B new dev project selected here. You can select any project, initiative, whatever you want. But I think the cool thing here is there is standards now how to talk about this in terms of new value investment, feature enhancements, developer experience, and KTLO, keeping the lights on. So we're going to do a conversation like that. And what I would say to you, Ori, remember Ori's the CEO here. Hey, Ori, I want to show you over the last 6 months where our investment has gone, because we're coming to an interesting point where I want to talk about the future. I want to talk about the next 6 months, but we got to show where the investment has been in order to have that conversation. What we have been doing at Linear B is investing a lot into new value, a lot. You know, the SEI space, it's all happening now. There's innovation happening. We have all these modules available. We've had 38% of our investment has gone there, and 30.5% has gone to feature enhancements. So you're adding that up together, we're about 68, 69%. And I know that we've been on the same page there because this space is new and evolving. But I have a concern that I want to share with you. Our
Please do.
KTLO is at 1.2%, and industry standard is about 10%. And we're bringing on some of the largest customers in the entire world now, 5,000, 6,000, 10,000 developers. And I'd like to talk to you about shifting our investment strategy a bit so we can ensure that we can take on the load and scale. And so I'd like to see this KTLO pick up to industry standard closer to 10%. And we'll take a little bit of a hit on the new value, but I think it's worth it for us.
Yeah,
What do
maybe
you
if I,
say?
yeah, maybe if I was like CEO that came from sales, I would say, I don't know what this KTLO means and all that. I need a feature so I can sell more. But because I think of my background, I say, you have my blessing, because that's how we build a robust platform. You got to go and invest more in infrastructure. You got to, by the way, even in developer experience, I would put more investment, maybe even the benchmark there, I would aim higher because those are the things that will give you velocity. And I'm really curious about this unclassified things. Maybe there's like things hiding there. I don't know if you can maybe discover some things that we don't know in this unclassified area.
Absolutely. I can dive into the issues there. Maybe we can get a little more efficiency out of that. But now you can see we actually have a conversation starting. Hey, I want to dive in. I want to talk about it more. Could you show me the issues? Could you show me this? We have a proper conversation going. That's the key here. And the next thing that's usually asked is, okay, yeah, maybe we can adjust the new value a bit or the feature enhancements a bit, but can you show me what projects we're actually working on? Where have we invested? Can you get me more into the details? No problem, I can. So I'm going to move us over now. So we were in the investment strategy, move into the allocation area. And what this area actually allows us to do is to see the percentage of effort going into the different initiatives. Right now, we have the past 3 months selected. I'm going to scroll down here. And what it shows here, these are the initiatives that we'll look at. We had over the past 3 months, 80% of our effort going into our unified platform initiative. Now, I'll give you more context on the call for everybody. Our unified platform initiative was actually adding this automations tab here. And we're going to dive into what that means. These are automations that actually improve the developer experience. Very important to Linear B that you're not just showing data, but you're actually doing something hands-on. So we've had heavy investment into that. And we also have had fairly heavy investment. Let me see if I can go to 6 months here even. Yeah, and I would say fairly heavy investment into our Dora for All project, which is our free Dora offering. So if you just need your Dora metrics, cycle time, deployment frequency, MTTR, change failure rate, it's all free for you. Just go to Linear B and get it. That's what we had been investing into. So now we can have that conversation to say, hey, were we on the right path or were we not on the right path? And I think in this situation, Ori, you would say, yeah, this is what this lines up with where we had been investing. But I'll let you speak.
Yeah, it makes sense. These are like the areas that we chose to invest. Curious about, if you can take one of them, like Dora for All, which is like basically our free offering, and see if like the investment over time, like shrinking, or is it the same? Can we do that? Okay. Oh, that looks better.
Yep. So it's kind of
That's
like, hey,
fair.
we had a large investment. Now it's coming towards an end. Okay, we're not going to need to invest into that as much. And now we can talk about, hey, where do we want to go
Can you,
next?
yeah, can you scroll, can you over that again so it's like clear to everybody? Like, yeah,
Yeah, I'm hovering it.
that's perfect. So like, yeah, December, January, a lot of investment, and over time, um, it's getting less. That's great. That gives confidence.
Okay, perfect. Now, one thing I do want to talk to you about is our automation framework, our marketplace. We're going to show it. And that's something that is, I think, amazing in the platform. But I want to say, hey, it's still ongoing. I don't want to stop the investment there. But what I want to do is show you how is that project going. Because usually, if we go back now here to this slide, usually the next type of question that you'll get asked is around predictable software delivery, like, hey, how is that unified platform project actually going? Or if you want to say like a 30 seconds a minute on this.
Yeah, I think that's you're phrasing it correctly. Okay, these are the allocations, but there's execution within the project. How are we going to deliver this project in time? What are the risks that we're seeing in this project?
Yep.
And if we can get, remember the sales analogy, if we can get to the same level of forecasting when things are going to come and what are the risks, that could be amazing. So I think that's what these solutions come to solve.
Yep.
And yeah, let's show it in the product. Like,
Yeah. So like
let
to
the
get down to earth on it, let's go back to the product. I'm gonna move us to our forecasting module, forecasting and delivery and pulses in there too. So let me move over here. Now, in the last screen, the discussion was around our unified platform project. Now, obviously, this can be about any project. You can select any initiative or project, and you can see it over time and that type of thing. I'm going to focus our attention here, and I'm going to call out to Ori, hey, over the last few months, as we just talked about, we have had significant effort into this unified automation project, and you can see the amount of work that's been delivered. Look at this green outline plus the green bar. It's a lot, okay? All the way coming up into June, which we, officially launched this. It's integrated into the platform. You can see all the work that has been done. Now, we're not done investing into it. That's why you can see a decent amount of to do, right? So there are still tickets coming in. We're working on the next launch. But I have a concern that I want to share to you. And this is what we're seeing on the right-hand side when you look at insights. There's all these different insights that you'll get about the project. In this case, it's about overextended developers. We have 32 issues assigned to overextended developers. I had been talking to you previously. Hey, I think that we could use another hire here. I know it's a tough conversation, but you and I both agreed, hey, we want this continued investment to the unified platform. And we do have overextended developers, and it's actually affecting the behavior of this project. Would you be open to discussing that?
First of all, let me consult with the CFO of the company. No, I'm just kidding. Definitely worth a discussion if we're counting on at least 32 issues seems a lot, and we're asking people who are already like, over the whip, right? Over what they can do. It's not a good plan. So yeah, definitely open for discussion. You still need a little bit of more proof to show that there's no other alternatives, etc. But then, in your real life, this is how you convince me to bring more hires if we kind of here.
And what I'll say is, you know, I think what's nice about this, not only can you see the progression in the insight, but I'll dive us now into delivery. And this is where you're able to look. We have a bunch of teams here, all R&D, developer workflow, besties, Flare. In this situation, working on the unified project, we have Team Flare and we have Team Rocket. So if you are really interested in on time and predictable delivery, we really like to look at this planning accuracy metric. Okay. And that metric, it's an indicator of what the team said that they were able to do or going to do, say versus do, versus what they actually were able to accomplish. In this case, hey, I want to talk to you about Team Flare. We do have Team Rocket working on the project with an 82% planning accuracy. That is elite. I do want to talk to you about Team Flare. 56% is decent, but because this is such a critical project for the business, I'd love to see us get up to that 80%. And you can see right here, we're at about 56. And if I go down here, hey, you know what? We're iterating fast. The bug rate is a little bit high. Okay, it's a little bit higher than we'd like to see at 32%. We'd probably like to see that more around 11 to 15%. And if I go to the latest iteration, we only have 3 FTEs on this. Hey, you know, we have someone on maternity or paternity leave over the next 6 months and that type of thing, and that's why we need to hire. That's the type of conversation. I didn't let Ori respond, but that's the type of conversation that can. If you want to say something, go for it.
Yeah, like one thing I would say to you before we talk about that hire, how do we improve this number? So we make sure we're efficient before we scale, which is I think it's a valid conversation, right? We want to bring the next hire to a project where we're already in like great planning accuracy, etc. The interesting thing will be to look at what was added after the iteration stopped. Is this like a scope creep? Is this like misestimation? Oh no, we gotta change the priority. We have a production fire, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Dan, the co-founder, came in and say we actually need to do something else. So that's the type of conversation I would want to have with you.
Perfect. And everyone can see on the right-hand side, all of that added work is there. You can see the type of work and so on. I will move us along. I said we'd be like 30 to 35 minutes.
Yes.
We'll only do 5 more minutes.
One more solution.
One more solution, but it's an important one. And we're going to go to developer experience. Let's do this. So Ori, kick us off with a quick intro.
Yeah, developer experience is huge. Now you can hear it all over the place. It's about measuring things quantitatively, but also qualitative is important. And I think the cool thing that you're going to show in a second, that it's important to put a baseline and kind of measure it. But what do you actually do to improve the developer experience? What are you doing the day-to-day to take action and start improving the developer and reduce the toll and reduce like the burnout that developers have?
Yeah, absolutely. So down to earth, you might have a platform engineering team, or you're starting a DevX team, or you want to improve developer productivity. One of the hardest things to understand is like where to focus my effort. Where do I get the most bang for your buck? So within Linear B, of course, you get all of the DORA metrics. Like we said, we offer all of this for free, and you get leading indicators about quality and throughput and so on. You do get benchmarking. So for example, here with cycle time, we're strong. With coding time, we're elite. But with pickup time, we're fair. And this is PR pickup time. This is something that is hurting the developer experience. It's developers waiting for their code to get reviewed. It's just sitting there. They want to get their code merged, and they can't. So again, just remember, you get all of these metrics for every single team, every single repo. Even on the PR label side, so for example, you might have a Copilot initiative happening right now, and you can always come in here, very important part of DevX, and measure your Copilot usage and impact, right? So just want to point that out. I think Connor, our producer, will include other materials here, but you can see when you're using Copilot from when you're not in the baseline. But let's say that we want to focus on this red area of pickup time. I'm going to move us over into the world of automations. That's what we were talking about in the beginning. And Ori, I'll ask you a question as the CEO. Why was it so important for us to invest into automations within the DevX initiative?
Yeah, I think what we saw, I think both you and I are like at the end of the day, inside of us still developers, even though like we grew to like being in these roles. And it was important for us that the philosophy of our platform is we're going to show you the problems, but we're going to give you tools to fix and solve your problems. Otherwise, we're just showing you like the challenges and the bottlenecks. So these automations, you're probably going to cover them much better than me, are almost like a programming language, stuff that you can go and throw into back into your SDLC to start improving problems. Let's say you have an issue with how fast you're merging stuff. So I'm sure you're going to cover some of these things. And that's why it was important for us to make sure that we're going from passive mode to active mode, and in the way developers and platform engineers love to do. They can configure and build their own stuff.
Yeah, well said. The key to a great SCI program is not to just to look at data, but to actually improve. And these are automations that you can use out of the box. You can also change the code behind them. They're all programmatic, but they will fix experience problems, unlock your cycle time, decrease your change failure rate, decrease wait time for developers. The two here, because we only have 2 minutes left, that we'll talk about. Let's say that you are having a problem with pull request pickup time or even your merge frequency, right? A great developer metric. A lot of people are using the explain code experts or assign code experts, so you don't have to worry about assigning who will be the reviewer. It can automatically happen. Again, it's all programmatic. You can program it yourself. Also, another one that people like, oftentimes a lot of bots are creating code now. A lot of bots are creating code. The Dependabot, Renovate bot, they're pulling developers away from reviews when you don't really need it. So you'll see that automation to ensure, hey, it's only a minor change. Let's not waste a developer's time on that. Those are some of the automations that you can use. There's hundreds in the marketplace. So I request everyone to explore these. I think it's really great. And of course, after you deploy the automation itself, you always want to see, hey, what was the impact of that automation? What was the ROI? Did the developer
ROI.
experience actually improve? You can see the ROI here. We're only looking at a week's worth of time. Already on the approval side, we've helped with 140 PRs, taking that weight off of the developers. And that's the type of thing that you can do now, is that actually improve your developer experience and track the progress of that improvement through these automations and with this dashboard. So we told everyone in the beginning, we won't hold you for more than 35 minutes. If you do want to get started, I see a lot of people in the chat saying they want to get started. Remember that you can start for free. We have our free door for all on the left-hand side. Come to linearb.io and sign up, completely free. Or if you're interested in seeing the whole platform, starting a trial, come talk to us. Come get a demo, and I think it'll be worth your while. So thank you, everyone. Ori, thank you to you. It's a pleasure working with you, man.
Same here, man. It's fun. Let's do this more and again.
All right. And everyone, have a great rest of your week. We hope we see you at Linear B. See you, everybody.
See you.